let's just say I'm average intelligence. I don't think that the average young father, sub age 30, even gives a whole lot of great detail or great thought to the nuances and the details of how the community affects the family, whether we have a shared ideology and so on. I think the average person is looking for a comfortable place. And it's not until you get to be a little bit older, on the other side of 40, maybe even approaching 50, where you start realizing how somewhat kind of like the butterfly effect, how every little thing matters. Mm-hmm. And then you start, becoming more aware of how these different details and these different circumstances will actually impact the outcomes. So, yeah, I mean, it's that. But, again, unfortunately, a lot of us are hustling backwards.
Now, I'm going to say this. And
by that I mean oftentimes we don't learn until after the fact, years later, and we're trying to educate in reverse, by what we shouldn't have done, et cetera.
Yeah, and that's why it's all like I would say this is the importance of a mental dialogue talk show, if you will, right? Is since we've lost the natural way that it happens, then we have to be very intentional about what we introduce and, in a sense, become the propaganda that we hate, right? That we talked about earlier in the show. Can we induce the culture and values? Because we did this show one time that we highlighted what are the top three things that the black culture needs, if you will. And one of my longtime callers, Brother Pianki, called in and said this, and I never forgot it. Because whatever the three things, I was letting people call in and give their three things. But I remember, I forgot what he specifically said as the one thing, but in his comment he said that when it comes to this family thing, at the end of the day, parents don't know what they're doing. And what he meant by that is because he married a sister. He's from the U.S., but he married a sister from some tribe in Africa, if you will. And within the tribal form or whatever, it's understood that to a degree, the grandparents is raising the parents and the kids, and the grandparents are there. And his point was because the parents are learning this on the spot, so they technically don't know what they're doing. And so it's understood within cultures. That's why you have minimum 3 generations to raise the kids, because the parents don't know what they're doing. So we can't magically wave a wand and get that back, but we can learn about that concept, and you can be the person in your generational line that breaks that curse and tries to ensure you are there to help your children raise their kids. So the concept and focus has to become completely different. Let me